shall weep while blood still runs. I'll hold my tears when weeping comes. Who shall
Who goes there? Ha! If you're looking for adventure, east, I dare say you have, adventurer. But I suspect ill. You want to go in. You still hanging around? And here's me thinking you were looking for adventure.
Seems like the only work these days is in fixing weapons. This will do.
He looks up from his map.
I shall not mourn till war is done. I shall not weep while blood still runs. I'll hold my tears when weeping comes. Who shall avenge you, darling one? I shall not mourn till war is done. I shall not weep while blood still runs. I'll hold my tears when weeping comes. Who shall avenge you, darling one? I shall not mourn till war is done. I shall not weep while blood still runs. I'll hold my tears when weeping comes. Who shall avenge you, darling one?
I notice that I've yet to receive your war.
I should neutralize this thing before it does damage. Well now, how's my favorite god woken?
Ivan smiles and salutes.
sister's back. She doesn't feel like...
The Meister sits slumped in a chair, looking around the room as she works her shoulder with one hand. It looks like it was...
Damnable red cloak baboons ransacking my wardrobes. As if I would keep ancient...
She takes a deep breath, and with a twist, a click, and a screech of... Reaching across the table, she pulls a bowl of hot water towards her.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault, so everything you need should be safe. Apparently I had a claw in murdering their darling...
The Meister wrenches the bandage, pulling the fabric tight against her wound. She winces...
Never mind that. That I was here the entire time. Apparently my cunning transcends time, space, and common sense.
Meister Siva freezes, her eyes locked on you.
Why on earth should I... Not that I was sorry to hear about his death. I doubt my grin helped matters during the interrogation. Enthusiasm? On a week we shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have been chosen, Godwoken, but become Godwoken. It is time. Fortunately, the Magisters pay as much attention to art as they do to fashion. Kindly remove that painting from the wall. It really is quite simple. In the corner there's a painting. Remove it and push the button behind it. Then we may move on. The combination to the vault is 15R. I pray my instructions will not be too technical for you. Push the button. Your talent for following simple instructions fills me with wonder and pride. Now,
A
kindly
stone
go to
door lies flush with the floorboards. Etched whorls in the granite frame a delicate... Taking your time, you carefully enter the combination.
Excellent. Follow me. Your time is at hand, Godwoken.
Ancient rooms, weird contraptions.
Feel free
This
to
place
look
is an
around while I
alchemist's
catch my
dream.
breath. Come speak to me when you wish to proceed. And try not to break anything in the meantime.
Opening the door, you see a selection of ingredients thrown together in no. After a quick rummage, you spot the blackroot. As you gather up the blackroot, obsidian. The Meister is examining her wounds, prodding at this.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, Godwoken? Sarcasm, my girl, is not one of the... No. Becoming the divine means taking on the power of all the gods, and the divine was created by the gods to shelter us from the void. The divine cannot use her power for anything else. Very well, then. Let's see if we can't snatch divinity from the jaws of the void. The ritual itself is quite simple. Drop some blackroot in the bowl, mix in a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then inhale the smoke. Ignore any feelings of dizziness, burning in your lungs, or a dire sense of existential dread. They're all perfectly normal, although you will need to sacrifice a little sauce along the way. Everything you need is here. Ingredients in the cupboard, sauce in the glowing fountain, ritual in the tome by the bookcase, even an incinerator to provide a flame.
The Meister looks back at her wounds, curiously prodding them as fresh blood oozes out, staining her claws.
Quite. Mind you, being torn asunder by a Voidwoken would be even more inconvenient. So if you wouldn't mind...
The Meister points sharply to the ingredients cupboard.
And do not lose anything! These ingredients are rare indeed. I'm not hiking back out to the Cloisterwood to fetch you more blackroot. you simple? Perform the ritual. Ingredients in the cupboard, ritual in the book, source in the fountain. Go! Are you simple? Perform the ritual. Are you simple? Perform the ritual. Ingredients in the cupboard, ritual in the book, source in the fountain.
As you suck the smoke deep into your lungs, your vision starts to swim and cloud. There is an intense pounding in your head, and you can feel the world fading. As the world fades away, you lose all sense of being grounded.
Deepest recess of my soul. But it looks like the Hall of Echoes.
Bathed in the half-light of these starless barrens, it looks haggard and weak. Its very voice...
Sabil, come. Come closer. You will see...
The apparition clasps your face in its shaking hands. You suddenly feel your eyes tingle. Everything becomes brighter.
Blind eyes. Shine. Speak the spell and see.
Strange mirror image of yourself. Before you stand...
You know me, don't you? I saved you from drowning. Your god-woken soul is my last refuge.
Sendelius nourishes himself from the source that abounds in your presence.
Ah, yes. Just what I needed. I tell you, dying just doesn't become a god. The void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching us in ways we never thought possible. Droplet by drop, we're battling for our very survival. It's a battle we're losing, and should we truly lose, all will be cast into oblivion. Don't you be impertinent, girl. The table's turning is not a... You must realize, Sabil, that our fates are now as one. Just as us together, we are a force to be reckoned with. But if we seek to survive, that means there is but one place we can go. The Well of Ascension. It most certainly will be. The Well of... We gave them up freely to create the first Divine. Each of us donated half. That is where the road to Divinity leads. And you must be the first to reach it, at all costs. There you touch upon the very heart. The Void is stronger than ever. A new Divine won't be enough. Only she who claims everything will be everything. The Void's doom, this world's... It's very simple, really. But of course that is what they are saying to their own God-woken as we speak. We both know they won't bow. Only one can become a god strong enough to safeguard, so make no mistake, Sabine. Chances are, but don't let that dismay you. For these sins will be washed clean by the knowledge you committed them to save all of existence. To save your kin and your loved ones. They will be at your mercy, which is so fret not, but revel in the promise of the lake. Our journey will be fraught with peril. It is a pilgrimage of challenges that will require you to command Source like only a Godwoken can, and wield its most—
Hoarse laughter rolls and
You flatter me, Sabine. But if all I had to do was give, you would long ago— We are I now. The spells you need to know I will teach you when you are ready. But first, so return to Rivellon and seek out these sages where they dwell. Once you have, you may return to me something that will make you understand that for a god, the Source is. It is a constant. You have the vision of a god now. I speak the spell during your peregrinations and you will see them. Where the dead lie, the dead linger. And so much more. But I'm no longer who I once was. Bound to you as best of luck, Sabine.
The Meister stares intently at you. Her eyes are tired and bruised, but determined.
Still alive? Gods above, there might be something.
She leans in, her bloody tongue.
Tell me, what did you see? What do you know?
She sighs impatiently.
You can't channel enough Source? Gods be damned, why couldn't you have a nice simple problem? Finding an orc to dance the hornpipe, perhaps? I know exactly what must be done. The purging which the Magisters included as part of their service was quite— not enough to silence me, but enough to sever my link to the font from which all source flows. And certainly, so we must seek alternatives. Alas, the only source masters, not sorcerers, that allowed their power to corrupt them. Many are wicked, cruel, vile, and generally not good teacher material, but we may have no others to turn to. Just so. Some of these are quite dark, twisted individuals. However, it is the path we walk. No.
The Meister doubles over in a violent coughing fit, struggling for breath.
No matter what is asked of you, you must learn from them. And you do not seem to be paying it. Sorcerers, evil, controlling your source. Your focus, your only focus, must be on finding these masters. On finding the secrets to divinity. Nothing else. The Magisters have kept ledgers with all known sorcerers. Especially the power, but do be careful not to get caught. I was there. And if their barracks turns out to be as empty as their skulls, just try to keep an—
As she speaks, one of her wounds reopens. A dark—
I wish there was more I could do, but in this condition, I would be more a hindrance than a boon. Godspeed.
The squirrel seems to be flicking through various scraps of paper. The spirit of an elegant elven woman.
You can see me. I am the Meister's apprentice. I study under her, but I do not learn. I hear tales of the ritual. Meister tells me it cannot happen, that I am not God-woken. But in my heart, no air fills my lungs, only fire. When the darkness falls, I cannot...
The spirit looks at you.
It is hard to hear of such power, and not covet it for yourself.
The Meister sits slumped in her chair. You notice that some of her scales...
What news? Can you channel enough source? Are you... Then why, pray...
Monster! Monster! Poor little Peeper. Poor little... There's only one way. Papa! Yes, yes, yes! He wanders. He roosts. But he is special. He can... What? Papa!
Doubled over in agony, the shivering Magister spirit mumbles. Noting the attention, he straightens, revealing insignia spelling Kinnet, and a jagged wound spilling his innards upon the ground. You become Kinnet. His warmth, comfort. You are Kinnet, playing cards with your mates in a cozy barracks. You stagger to tipsy. It's a one-man job, a job no man wants. Your sly-eyed troop leader, you feel the short straw and hear them shout, Kinnet! Massacre. Your lantern reveals ravaged corpses in every direction. Inhaling sharply, you smell a thick black stench you remember secondhand. No! Kinnet's tears fall from the dark thicket rustles to your left. A claw rakes savage stripes across your guts as Kinnet dies, or staggering back from Kinnet's deathly grasp, only your own blood now pumps through your heart. With your living eyes, you see him trembling in front of you, desperately holding out 3 straws. As you pluck the short straw from his hands, Kinnet weeps with relief. His wound disappears in turn. He looks around, then looks at you.
I'll show you.
The spirits of a Magister and a dwarf are locked in ethereal combat. Their vicious blows make no impact, yet they...
Sorcerer! You must hate the Reds as much as I do, eh? Rightly so. Reds had sorcerers locked up tight in that caravan.
The Magister lunges for the dwarf, his
Anna, you saw it with your own eyes. You know Sorcerer's Law, Voidwoken, and you know we'd all still be alive if you hadn't attacked our caravan. Before it all, Voidwoken stole the sorcerers along the cliffs, headed for Seven knows.
Not to flip your flops or nothing, but 'tis more that
The Magister snorts in...
Loha, I should have known. Sorcerer, if you want to stay...
The dwarf eyes you steadily and silently. The Magister shrugs.
Well, if I knew that, we'd have taken him out long ago.
Oblivious to your presence, the two spirits... The Magister turns to you. Interest like... The bull flips its ghostly tail.
History?
The bull flips its ghostly tail.
Well, guess I should have seen that coming. Dying, of course. As soon as they set me pulling that there wagon, I should have known this was how things was going to end. Of course I can... That's nice of you. It's not so bad. You sure you want to know? All right.
The bull shakes itself, swallows the cud.
You're gonna die. Let me think about soup, maybe.
The bull shrugs.
Here. I don't suppose you could do me a favour.
The bull nods its thanks.
I knew you'd say yes.
History? History is written by victors. Do not doubt our divine order will prevail. I'll show you. Low-heart boys are no match for Magisters. Take that. You dare strike me? Step back at once.
history, remember you Reds with more venom than even the Black Ring.
History? History is written by victors. Do not doubt our divine order will prevail. I'll show you. Low-heart boys are no match for Magisters. Take that!
An ancestor tree. Pure grace in an undeserving world. The spirit of the tree may have much to say. Let's see what spirits fate this garden.
You have done me a great service, friend. Now...
At first glance, the spirit seems much like its host. Hollow, detached, yet in its... Your hand reaches through the spirit. Your source is inert. You see no memories, siphon no emotion.
Spirits as haunted as the graveyard it roams.
It's hard not to feel some pride in reptilian engineering. I watched an elf spend hours trying to force his way into a... He did not leave empty-handed, unfortunately. It's hard not to feel... I watched an elf spend hours trying... He did not leave...
The spirit ignores your presence, busy as it is resisting the pull of another, the ancestor tree, trying to take its source. The roots of a great ancestor tree reach from deep underground to the surface above, and you are a scion of the elves. The mother tree demands your blood. You do not have a choice. But then you hear a voice, a friendly whisper from beyond. The voice knows, grateful, you accept. In an instant, you are an elf once more, walking in the world. But your new friend, at last, he bids you guard your tree. He expects you shall have guests. You shall kill... The thought occurs. The sign replaced one bad deal with another.
That story hits a little too close to home.
No such thing as luck. Only self-earned...
Elven games. No one can.
The roots of a great ancestor tree reach from deep... The spirit ignores your...
As beautiful as always. If unwilling to whisk me away from this creature is as blank as a silent...
The spirit gives you a tortured glance, then turns...
Inspiration to our people.
You watch yourself. Word is that they'll be walking about with flesh on them. You're God-woken, ain't you? Don't ask me why.
Two dwarven spirits at loggerheads. In a flash, you are both of them, brother and sister. Your feminine side is a rebel. Rise as the brother, you rescue your sister from the pikes of the Royal Guard. You are the sister. And you know that something is wrong. Both of you die, but your killers do right by their fellow dwarves and bring you here to lay you to rest. As spirits, you fight for eternity. One convinced... The brother scowls. He feels vindicated. The brother is at peace with...
Watching the birds pick your body clean is almost soothing. And it means that elf ain't getting his claws on my corpse. Not mine specifically, but he creeps from grave to...
A grim expression past...
The dead don't rest easy in this garden. He lives in the big house by the gate. The less I see of him...
There was no glory and no point to it either.
The eagle glowers at you with one...
That inspiration.
You are no eagle, no master either, no friend...
The Queen of Pearls, revered among fierce and feminine, an age-old symbol of dwarven womanhood.
We died. Glory.
spirit does not talk to you, though the pain...
I see so few guests. Such a pity you shan't appreciate my...
A spirit sits behind the grand piano.
O'er black and white, o'er globes they glide, o'er flats and sharps. Whither go they, Lady of Life? Direct them.
The echoes of a distant path. The spirit's lip curls upwards. She opens her mouth as if to speak, but her words fade in the tomb's chill. The longer you gaze, the more your inner source churns. You are drawn into her. You sit at a fire. At your left lies a black dog, basking in the warmth. You hold a parchment up to the light and point at it. It is there that the sky is dark, and the roaring fire is now a sad flicker. You look to your left. The dog's yellow eyes lock with yours, and you gasp as you are thrust into the present. You take a few deep heaves.
Won't budge.
The dog spirit rolls his head around, gawking at the ground.
I am death. Indeed, the masses tremble at my might.
He moves to lick his haunches and seems to...
Once a demon, now a weapon. We heard its call and slayed our...
The canine spirit lifts his head to howl, but can barely manage...
Come on, mistress. Hear me.
Zimski mutters to himself as he traces sigils in the dirt.
Heads or tails? A canny one, you are. That's what Lady Luck herself always whispered to me in the night.
Turning from you, he crouches back to the dirt. He resumes tracing esoteric sigils, his fingertips...
Signs to call. Oh, Lady Luck always came when I called. For 30 now, I cannot influence even a coin toss. But you breathe. I'll wager you've more use for my gifts than I do. Here, tell me what you truly value. If my lady sees fit, I'll give you what I truly value in return. Good enough?
He smiles a foxy smile as he stabs claw-like fingers at your chest. He begins to trace sigils on your flesh. Though you cannot feel his fingers upon your skin, something is... He croons incantations as he works, and his voice is like the throwing of 1,000 dice.
Ah, now you feel her touch. Now Lady Luck sings in your blood as she once did in mine. And now I feel nothing.
Cursed to pray for eternity, but for now the gods aren't listening.
Too heavy. Won't budge.
It's too heavy. Won't budge.
The sinner I, and who is not? The sinner lies that they sin not.
The spirit does not respond. Stone Garden, be welcome.
Come and get him, you overgrown grasshopper.
Mari flashes a massive horsey smile at you, then winces.
By the seven, that was something. What'd I tell you? Nice scratch on me. None that last, at least. Glad my little guy got to see it. Oh, sure. Just a nasty bruise by the... Didn't catch your name, though. I'm Mari. Pleasure's mine. You all right? Dunno about you. But then again, if you hadn't rolled in when you did, I might be whistling Teedle-Dee in a Void Woken's belly by now. I owe you. Always happy to squash a bug. Hate to cut this short, but I ought to dash off. Mind lowering the bridge, though. I find myself slightly... Gave him a good whipping, we did.
You are my good-looking lad. Ma! Let me get a good look at you. You're okay.
Are you?
And there's my little spider monkey. Come here, you.
Mother and son fall into a tight embrace. Mari seems oblivious to you.
My boy.
Hey, wait, what's that?
Boring. Meet.
Thank you so much for helping my...
Thank the gods. Oh, thank the mum. And I'll believe it when I know a good arm when I see one. I'll tell my cousin Ryman what you did. He's real high up in the Order, and he's visiting Driftwood as we speak. Could be he has some good work for you. Some dwarves, locals, attacked a Magister caravan. Voidwoken must have sensed them. Came in formation like a proper battalion. Never seen anything like...
Mari looks to Barin and Flex.
Luck, wishy. We're off into town. Best of luck to you, mate.
Low-half boys are no match for Manchesters. Take that!
Are you sure? Them sorcerers from the caravan?
They'd be daft to come back, as long as there's no sorcerers.
Last time I was here, I summoned my wolf right in the tavern.
Oh, we dwarves had a kingdom, and we will have it back. I won't always be sweeping, I'll be riding horseback. We dwarves had a kingdom, and a proud knight was I. I won't always...
Protect against cold like a torn aside fire, cold and hot. But Voidwoken.
Well met, friend.
You look down at the cart and see fish with flaking scales, tumours and, in one case, 3 heads.
together, read. I'm all right. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
It's free to look. Fair travels, friend.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
As the Magister's eyes alight upon you, they widen until they are practically bulging out of their sockets. One tremulous...
Ifan Ben Mezd is our living breeze. I don't know how you got free, but it'll be back to the joy with you, and no mistake.
Keeping it together, read.
One eye squints, the other bulges...
Oh, it's you, all right. It's definitely you.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Your little tricks won't work on me, Ben Mezd.
She considers your offer.
How much? So much? You have to be hiding something. Now, come on. Back into a cage where you belong. Your little tricks won't work on me, Ben Mezd.
The Magister grabs the coin.
Get out of here.
Keeping it together, read. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
War's a brewing, my friend, and I'll stand by your side. Special prices for you. War is hell, my friend, but it's very
Your
good
fish
for business.
stinks of the void.
Good luck to you.
What kind of rat would sell such filth?
The kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking, Dwarf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
Ah.
Keeping it together, read. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, read. I'm all right. Too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget. Keeping it together, read.
Your fish stinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
The kind that don't fancy starving, along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking, Dwarf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
Ah.
Keeping it together.
together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe
You
among
needing
friends.
supplies? Anything more?
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
I don't come visit your ton. Who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
Until later then.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
My word, but a pretty have at it. Got yourself situated.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Protect against void.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yep.
Void walking. God knows what to stop those beasts.
Cold stealing.
it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
Your fish stinks of the
You're
void.
safe
What
among
kind of
friends.
acid
My,
stinks?
but what a... Have at it. Got yourself
Mind they
situated.
don't fancy starving along with the rest of this town. It's all well and good for you with your rations. We've got to take what we can get.
Keep talking, dwarf, and you'll end up eating sawdust from a cell floor.
Ah.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. It's not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit you, Ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yep.
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Anything that will protect against void wake.
I can turn aside fire, cold and poison. But void walking? God knows what stuff those beasts. Cold stealing.
I've enough strafe trying to earn a bit of coin with that. Ain't got much to say. Off with you.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. Good day to you.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
What a sturdy elf you are. Penny for a sick dog.
A glance at the dog's miserable face tells you it's sick all right.
Not in any mood to talk about it.
The dog lies there quietly.
What are you looking at? I'm sick here. Get lost. Got a pain in the neck. Got a bad pain in the neck.
It flinches. A low, threatening growl builds. Under the collar, you find the sharpened points of metal rivets, gouging the poor dog's skin. The dog gives you a long, hard stare, but the dog goes to bite your hand.
Hey, I feel okay. Thanks, man. Think I'll wander off now. Master did.
You're safe among
Huh?
friends.
Wait a minute.
He turns to his master.
You bird man.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat. If I don't come visit you, Ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Penny for a grieving beggar whose dog ran away. God damn it. That was my livelihood. No,
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
you wouldn't do that, would you? Oh, yes, you would do that, wouldn't you? I couldn't prevail upon you to change your mind, could I?
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Go on then, get lost, you
There's a lot of call for the junk you sell, then.
Keeping it together, Bree.
Junk? Why, I offer
I'm
nothing
all right,
less than the
as long as
wisdom
I
of the
don't think
ancients.
Penny for a grieving beggar whose dog ran away.
Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of
Penny
vinegar.
for a grieving beggar whose dog got one on you, do you, sire?
I don't come visit you, cousin.
Then get out of the way. Penny for a sick dog. Penny for a grieving beggar whose dog. Penny for a grieving beggar whose.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right. You're safe among friends. Never forget.
Hello, missus.
The little boy looks at you.
You be careful. No, he's not. His daddy's a fisherman like most daddies round here. We were waiting for our friend. He went swimming. Up for Joy.
That's what I said. Fort Joy. He's going to find his mum and bring her back.
That's right. I think he's an idiot. Hello, lady.
The little boy beside her looks.
We're waiting for Joe. Hello, lady.
The little boy.
We're waiting.
You're safe among friends. Never forget. Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much. You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Hear ye! Queen Justinia executes 24 noblemen for insubordination.
The Black Bull Tavern.
Noble bloodline. Who shall rise? Who gains the title most divine?
Keep your eyes peeled, will you?
We wait.
Ramos the Wanderer.
wonder
must
and
be
wonder.
A prim woman in a starched apron wipes a glass with a clean rag. She pins you with blue, steel-sharp eyes as you approach the bar.
Blessings upon our Lucian, 7 times divine. Blessings before imbibing in this establishment.
Her eyes soften and
I see your mother raised you very well indeed. You and my Niles would get along. Nice to see an unfamiliar face. What brings you to Driftwood, darling? They've been a trial, that's for certain. But the Magisters are here. Anyhow, what can I get you? We've only got amber ale, I'm afraid. Can't spare the potatoes for hard alcohol. If you'd like, coming right up, darling.
Ah, finally. Your colleague over there will have a bowl of the house stew, if you please.
May the seven usher us to paradise.
Oh, pity. I've been trying to... After all I've been...
He lowers his gaze, then looks up at you, his lip trembles.
It's my mentor. My dear mentor. No. Now here I sit, my closest companion gone, our precious cargo worth more, and the waiter won't even bring me any stew. Ah, then perhaps my... Tell me, how are you with, well, Voidwoken? Ah, terrific news. My mentor, Liam, and I made short work of Liam, may the gods rest his soul. I managed to escape, but my precious cargo was left behind. We'd invested our entire livelihood in those wares. Very, very well, that's how. Now, give me your map. I can't tell...
She nods an uninterested greeting.
Here for the fight? This is a tavern. People are drinking. Eventually there'll be a fight. You planning on starting one? Buy me a drink and I'll think about it. Cheers. Later then. You've got enough in front of you.
Weep, my friends, for Alexander the Innocent.
Another sorcerer on the loose. I knew this. If they got nothing to hide, they got nothing to be scared of.
Yeah? You're good with the magic of caging anyone up?
Sound right? I got a right to think, don't I? Throw him in a hole for all. Is the great good?
I'll be right. The small one can beat you on the arse.
Hold it. Papa no, you no go.
He grins.
Loha didn't tell me to let any walking scarecrow in, so why should I?
He squints at you in the gloom. Then his eye...
Well, I'll be thrice cussed to the void. If I'd been mares, down you go. But no shenanigans, mind.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard?
Absolutely
Then
not.
you're an idiot.
The coffers, man. The coffers, they're to be guarded day and night.
Yes, of course. Of course, my lord.
And I'm saying...
As you approach the silken-robed noble, Ifan does a double-take.
I know this man, and he's not at all what he says.
Ifan bounds forward and embraces the man, all effusive greetings. As they part, they chatter away for some time, using a guttural cant you struggle to understand. At one point, the man hunkers down and seems to be sketching. Ifan claps the man on the back.
Well, now we know the way to the sawmill. And we know Roos thinks I'm bringing you there as part of the Godwoken contract. Hear that? Roosts camped out at the sawmill.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot. What do you want, tree stalk? Huh. I want another beer. And I guess that makes me a sinner. Thatcher here is one of my dear...
Thatcher grins.
Our mate Boris got posted to Fort Joy for consorting with lizards. And Thatcher here...
They look at you expectantly. Thatcher looks victorious.
You're as bad as she is.
Eden turns back to her drink. Thatcher smiles goodbye.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
And I'm saying, you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer
You're
from a
willing to
mile
risk
away.
Fort Joy for one night
And
with
you
a
can't be too
lizard.
careful, you know?
Then you're
If I can get
A
Alex-
weathered woman in a dirty sea captain.
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn. And I without my compass. The ship is in the locker. On the bottom in the rocky shallows. And all and yet... Can you hear? The bell rings on. Perhaps I am already mad. But
She buries her head in...
Make...
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn.
You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard. Then you're an idiot.
A weathered woman in a dirty sea captain's tunic.
The bell rings a warning and the tide is...
You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard. Then you're an idiot.
Who rings the bell?
You see yourself in the mirror. It's quite a sight.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying, you can trust me. I can see a
Curiosity
sorcerer
kills
from
the
a
cat,
mile away.
or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander...
You're
and
willing
get
to
any
risk
of us.
Fort Joy for one night with a lizard.
All right about that. Right as
Then
rain.
you're an idiot.
The chest won't open.
Speak the word, and I shall open. Speak the word, the magic word, and I... No. I did not understand. Do you want... Is your... No. No. I am... Or still no. Do not profane. Speak. I am a chest. Yes, you could. This seems an excellent...
The chest won't open, and you don't know the map.
No. I is... No. I am a chest. Yes. You know, still do not. This seems an excellent...
The chest won't open, and you don't know the map.
No. I am... No. An excellent...
The chest won't open, and you don't know the magic.
You speak. For your safety.
The lock unlocks with the tiniest click.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard. Then you're an idiot.
Right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying, you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander, they can get any of us.
about that. Right as rain,
Curiosity kill.
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilga.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
Here now. When one's in a small town, one must expect small town manners, I see. Have you a reason for barging into my room, madam? No harm done, I suppose. Still, I may as well introduce myself. Travels, you say? And why would you assume...
He laughs hard.
Of all things, I wouldn't... I am travelling, yes, to Arx. Lucian's Day will be upon us soon. I go because it is every citizen. That said, as a merchant, it is quite my favourite day of the year.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard. Then you're an idiot.
You can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful.
What the devil are you staring at?
Your beard, my lord. It seems less lush somehow.
It's as lush as it's always been. Now train your eyes on my treasures, not my person.
Yes, my lord.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard.
then you're an idiot.